Namaste, everyone. Welcome to I Am Yoga Studio. My name is Veronica Hupp, and I'm here today with Gretchen. She has volunteered to demonstrate some poses today. These movements that we're going to do today are really some good therapy for the neck and the shoulders. We hold a lot of our tension, a lot of our stress in these two areas, which can lead to irritability, to headaches, and just an overall sense of not being your best self. So we're going to show you some things today that you can do at home to provide a little relief from some of your neck pain and shoulder pain issues. The only prop that you might need today would be if you have a strap, that would be great to go and grab it right now. If you don't, a belt will work equally well. So any belt that you might have in your closet would work really good. So we will go ahead and get started. We're going to use our belt here in just a little bit, but right now I'm going to have Gretchen lie down on her back and bend her knees, and I'm going to place this blanket underneath her head. So I have Gretchen on her back here with her knees bent, and just walk your knees maybe an inch or two away from each other, Gretchen. Yeah, and she's got them a comfortable distance from her hips, and her arms are just resting to the sides of her body. And I'm going to begin to show her and you guys how to just begin to kind of shimmy here back and forth a little bit, beginning to get into some of the fascia on the back side of the body, release a little bit of the neck tension, the shoulder tension here, and then I'm gonna let go, and I'm gonna let Gretchen begin to move her own body in that same way, just kind of wiggling, if you will, back and forth. Make sure that you're breathing through this movement, so a nice steady rhythm of breath. Good. And then she's going to bring her body into stillness. And we're going to focus a little bit more now on her neck spine. So she's going to use her own hands to pick up her head like it's a bowling ball, right? And our head does weigh about what a bowling ball does. And so she's going to turn her head to one side, rest her ear down as best she can, and then relax her arms again. And then begin that shake all over again with the head turned to the side. And remember, it's a gentle movement. We're keeping the hips down, we're keeping the shoulders down, the head down. And maybe two more here, Gretchen. Good, and then you can bring the body into stillness. Use your hands to lift the head so that you don't put that stress back on the neck, and rotate the head gently to the other side. Lay it down and begin to shake. Just gliding back and forth. It's not a big movement, but it begins to kind of wake the body up. And let's do two more here, Gretchen. Good, and then use the hands, bring the head back to center. Nice, good. So let's bring your right arm up, reaching the fingertips to the sky. Good. And now bring your arm overhead, just to the best of your ability. Let it land wherever it lands. And then reach the arm back to the sky, fingertips to the sky. Exhale. And inhale, reach the arm overhead just to wherever is right and good for you. And exhale the arm back, fingertips to the sky. And we'll do that one more time as we inhale the arm overhead. Let the breath be smooth and natural, exhaling whenever you're ready. And then bring the arm all the way down. And we'll move to the opposite side, reaching your fingertips to the sky, inhaling them overhead. So getting into the shoulder joints now, exhaling fingertips back up to the sky. Inhaling the arm overhead. And just really notice what you feel. What do you feel? Exhaling, we reach. What is your shoulder telling you? And one more time, inhale up, reaching overhead. And exhaling all the way back down now. Good. And you can either rock up or roll off to your side body, whichever you prefer. Good. And then we'll make our way into a downward facing dog. So come on to hands and knees. And gently spread the fingers. I'm going to move your blanket here. Let's curl the toes under. Push through the hands and through the feet. Lift the hips and come into a down dog. So you're going to lift the hips up to the sky. All the way up, knees off the ground. There you go. Walk your feet in maybe a half a step. And put a little softness in the back of the knees. So as you're lengthening here through the arm bones and stretching through the shoulders and the spine, just begin to let the head drop just a little bit. Maybe even give a nod, yes. So nod the head, yes. Maybe shake the head gently, no, from side to side. Just getting some neck movement. Good. And one more time, nod the head, yes. All right, and let's begin to walk the feet to the hands. And keep coming. You can bend the knees until you are standing all the way up. Place the hands to the waistline and rise. All right, so this next movement that we're going to move into is with the strap. So Gretchen, we're going to extend the arms overhead and keep that strap nice and taut here. And reach it as if we're trying to press it up to the ceiling. Good. Yeah. So think about your stance. The feet are about hips distance apart. Both of the feet pointing in the same direction. And there's a bit of a tiny softness to the knees. And we've got the shoulders aligned with the hips and the ankles. Good. Reach and expand. Lengthen the ribs. And on your next exhalation, we're going to lower the strap, keeping it nice and firm, as if we're gently trying to pull it apart all the way down to the thighs. Keep it nice and snug. And then inhaling, reaching it up. And then extending as if we're trying to push that strap up to the sky. Good. And one more time, we're going to exhale and bring the strap down in front of us, keeping it nice and firm. Strong wrists. And this time, as we inhale the strap up to the sky, we're going to begin to kayak the ribs. So Gretchen, moving from the rib cage, keeping the strap nice and tight. Good. Yes. Making sure the breath is moving fluidly through the body. And then we're going to reverse our kayak. So moving in the opposite direction, good. And so thinking about keeping the hips fairly still and letting the movement come from the rib cage. Nice, let's do 2 more. Good, and then come into stillness, soften the elbows and begin to lower the arms down. Good, and we'll set the strap aside. Just kind of notice how you feel in the ribs. A lot of times we get really stagnant through here. Our mid-back can get really stiff, which can create that strain on the shoulders and up into the neck. So the next movement that we're going to do is shoulder shrugs, but we're going to kind of do them in a different way. I'm sure everybody's done the shoulder rolls and the shoulder shrugs, but we're going to hold them a little bit longer this time. We're going to put a little bit more emphasis on really feeling what's happening in the whole shoulder girdle. This not only strengthens the shoulders, but a lot of times the nerves in the shoulders, they get kind of stuck, they get confused. And so they're always firing, sending us these pain signals because they don't know when to quiet down. So if we utilize the muscles and really fatigue the muscles out, then they go, oh, I can relax a little bit now. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fatigue out those shoulder muscles so that maybe we can quiet some of those nerve receptors into tricking them basically into calming down. Okay. All right. So we're going to shrug our shoulders up by our ears, and we're going to hug them there, and we're going to hold them there. Good. So make sure you're breathing. So a lot of times when we shrug, we hold breath. So we want to make sure that we're breathing. Good. And then keep them shrugged up as close to your ears as possible. And keeping them shrugged up, we're going to reach our elbows back. Shoulders move back, but they stay elevated. So keep your shoulders up, 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 and then draw them back, but keep them elevated. Good. Now keep them back and draw them down, away from the ears. Good. Now move them forward as we protract the shoulder blades. Good. Now elevate, keeping them protracted. Hug them up towards the ears and hold them there. Now keeping the shoulders elevated, so keep them up, 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 up. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. So really begin to feel this pulling of the shoulder blades together on the back body. Keep them hugging up towards the ears. Good. And then we'll release them down. Soften them down, keeping the shoulder blades hugging together on the back body. And then protract, bring the shoulders forward, drawing the shoulder blades apart from one another on the back. So really let yourself, take your time, really let yourself feel that. And then again, hugging up by the ears, squeezing, if you will. And then keeping the shoulders elevated and reaching the shoulder blades towards each other as the elbows. Bend your elbows, soften them, let them move back, 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 back. Really hug back. Good. Yeah. And then release the shoulders down, keeping the shoulder blades hugging together, and then come forward with the shoulders. Round through here, protract. Good. And one more time, hug them up. Shoulder blades up, 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 up. Hug, 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 hug. Shoulders to the ears. And then keep them elevated as you draw your shoulder blades towards one another on your back body. Really squeeze. And we begin to open the chest here, releasing some pectoral muscles as well. And then just begin to deflate and release and soften. Good. And then just take a moment. Just take a moment, maybe lean forward. Let's shake out the arms. So this is kind of like a passive stretch here for the shoulders. Just kind of let the arms dangle like a rag doll. Good. And then rise back up. And next we'll move to the wall and come into a shoulder stretch there. So this will be our next to the last movement here of neck and shoulder therapy. And find a space on the wall. Any wall will do. And we're going to come into this. I'll mimic it and you can do it right behind me. So we're going to place our right hand to the wall and we're going to walk it back. So my arm is no higher than my shoulder, and I'm pressing my palm towards the wall, fingertips to the wall. Now I'm going to step forward with my left foot as I step back with my right. So I'm in a stance, and I've got my heart facing forward and my hips are facing forward. So already I'm really getting a stretch at the front of my shoulder and into my chest muscles, into my bicep muscles as well. And keeping the hand gently on the wall, as I said, about shoulder height. Good. And let's just bring our left hand to our hip and begin to draw our elbow back. Good. Now I'm going to come out of my pose, Gretchen, and I'm going to have you stay in yours. Nice. Good. Yay, and she's smiling. All right, so we're going to take that left arm and just reach the fingertips for the sky. And elongate. Think about lengthening through the ribs here and reaching up as if you're trying to touch the ceiling. Keep the breath flowing evenly in the body. Good. Nice. And then you're going to take that hand and you're going to place it to your heart center. So you're going to bring it to your chest. Nice. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate open. So keeping the hips facing forward. And it's as if I'm drawing my hand across my chest to kind of pull my skin in that direction. And then I'm going to look as well, turn the head and look in that direction. So there's a lot of energy coming this way to the left. At the same time, I'm really finding a big stretch across the front of the chest. So those, the pectoralis minor muscles can really stiffen up and get short, causing lack of mobility and really interfering with shoulder mobility. So that's what we're stretching out right now. And we're getting a nice stretch in the lower half of the body as well. So let's take one more breath here. Really draw that elbow back. Yes, good. And then bring your head back to face forward. You can lower your arm down and you can crawl this arm up and around and step forward. Nice. And shake it out. Always got to shake it out. That just feels really good, right? Especially after that big shoulder stretch. Okay, and then we'll move to the other side. So facing that way, walk your left arm back. Nice, good. Step your opposite foot forward. Good. So again, think about the hips facing forward for a moment, the chest facing forward, and your gaze facing forward. And then let's bring this hand to the hip. Take a moment, just breathe. Let yourself feel the stretch coming across the left front shoulder into the biceps muscles. And you probably feel some movement here in the shoulder blades as well. And then we're going to reach those right fingertips to the sky and really lengthen here through the side body, through the shoulder. Keep the breath flowing evenly. One more breath here, Gretchen, and then bring your hand to the middle of your chest. And again, pull the elbow back as if you're trying to draw that skin from the left over to the right, and gaze right as you begin to really feel that pectoral stretch. Getting into some of those hard to reach places that the muscles tend to get short and stagnant. Especially important to continue that even flow of breath here. And we'll take one more breath. And then go ahead and lower the hand on your right and circle your left arm up and around and then step forward. Good. Shake it out. Nice. And lastly, we'll come back to sit on the mats and do a gentle twist, and then we'll be done. So the next posture that we're going to move into is a seated twist, but we're also going to do something really kind of cool with the eyes. So after we get into the twist, I will begin to talk about what we're going to do with the eyes. So let's extend the legs. Come to a seated posture. You are welcome to use a folded small blanket or a beach towel. Beach towel's perfect. Or one of these blankets like I have here. Just gives a little release of the hips or the spine. So we're going to extend the legs out, and then we're going to draw the knees in, so bending the knees, and we're going to draw our left foot in towards our right hip. Good. And then we're going to take our right foot and we're going to cross it over the left thigh. Good. And then we're going to root down as if we're steadying ourselves, and maybe hug gently around the shin of that right leg, sitting nice and tall in the spine. Good, a sense of ease here in the chin and feeling that alignment on the back side of the body. so that we're not leaning forward, but we're using our belly muscles to help us to stay upright. So from here, we're going to take our right hand behind us and begin to find a little rotation. We can keep that left hand to the shin as kind of a guide. We're not torquing the body into a twist though. We're just gently resting here with a nice tall spine. So as we turn our head to the right gently, we're going to take our eyes even farther. So where our chin and our neck stop, we're going to continue our eye gaze even further to the right, looking as far behind us as we can without making ourselves dizzy or putting any strain on the eye. And then we're going to keep looking to the right as we bring our head back to center. So we're going to keep looking right as we draw our head back to center. Keep coming forward, keep looking right, keep coming forward, keep looking right, keep coming forward, keep looking right. And then go ahead and close down the eyes and bring the right hand back around to face forward. Not an easy task. So what we're doing here is a lot of times the occipital nerves here at the back of the skull, which correlate to our eyes, which can bring in that tension, the neck aches, the eyes can cause the headaches and the tension in the face, in the neck. So we're kind of confusing those nerves and resetting, if you will, some of those nerves, and hopefully releasing tension there. So kind of tricking the body again. So let's unwind. Go ahead and uncross the legs, extend the legs out, and begin to pedal the knees. It's getting some movement there before we move to the other side. Good. And then we'll draw the heels back towards us, bend the knees. We're going to take that right foot towards the left hip. And then we're going to cross the left foot over the right thigh. Now, if this is not doable, if this is not accessible in your body, you can set your foot right here by your shin. So there's always modifications to make a pose accessible for you. All right. So wherever you are along that path, finding that comfortable position, there's a little bit of a hugging here of the legs. So the legs just kind of begin to energize so you can help stay nice and tall, right? And then we're going to take our right hand to our shin as we take our left hand behind us and open. So we're in this twist of the mid-spine here. And then we're going to turn our gaze, and then wherever our gaze stops, wherever the chin stops, and our head stops, stay there with the head and let the eyes continue to follow back to the left. Keeping the eyes looking left, begin to bring your head back to center. This is not easy, y'all. Keep the eyes looking left, keep the head coming back to center, keep the eyes looking left, keep the head turning back to center. Keep breathing. Eyes looking left, head to center. Bring your arm around. Close down the eyes. Two more breaths here. Let's unwind. Extend the legs. And gently pedal the knees out. And then we'll go ahead and come into an easy seat pose. Resting the hands to the thighs. So thank you for joining us today. And again, these neck and shoulder movements are ones that you can do wherever you are, wherever you have a wall. So definitely in your home, using whatever props you have available to you. But using these exercises maybe on the daily to relieve stress in the neck muscles, in the shoulders, relieving headaches, all of that to find a way to well-being. Namaste.